Okay, I'm just skipping the intro. I'm skipping all of the open, skipping all of it, getting right to it. Shows that I'm losing connection right now. So no Wi-Fi, power's going in and out. This thing could last for 5 minutes, could last for 5 seconds. Might as well just kick off now. You are, hey, all right, America, you're one of the best. You got the best, hottest man in the land. Michael Matt can. Better believe that, baby. Okay, and where is our beautiful co-host? There she is, my identical cousin. The one who is so unbelievable, blah blah blah. Yeah. There we go. We got it going on. So let's just jump in there.
Get a song today?
Now.
No song. No.
You know what? I could not do this. I could not do this. Do podcast. I cannot do this. XSpace. I cannot do it if I didn't have some kind of help.
As you can tell, y'all. Oh, are you having bad storms out there? Okay. Yep. Okay. You guys, we're having connection issues. Cuz let me know if you want me to start a space for you until, you know, whatever you need to do so we can have it going. Okay. It may crash, guys. Is that what you want me to do? 100? 200? What? Hitch slap. Does a thumbs up mean a yes?
Yes, I think that is exactly what he's saying. So I would copy the title and then
That's
you
what I'm
host
getting
it
ready
and
to
then
do.
invite. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. All right, you guys. Okay, yep, he's giving thumbs up. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna open a space. Y'all are all gonna, and we're gonna use the same title. Come in and we'll just run it from my page today until my cousin gets his Wi-Fi and everything together. Sound good?
Perfect.
Awesome. So we'll see y'all in just a few minutes. I'm gonna get it going right now.
Follow Savvy.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Come on in. Come on in. Request a mic if you want one. We're gonna the identical cousin. Oh, there's Hitch. Good. Approve. He's having some technical difficulties. Hitch slap, make sure that I sent that to you. There he is.
Hello, I wasn't sure if it's come through. Can you hear me okay?
I can. You're crystal clear. There he is.
Crystal clear is the best kind of clear. So, yes, thank you very
Amen.
much. Yeah, as soon as Mike gets set up, we'll get people to like, share, repost, all that good stuff. So, is Mike facing some storms, is he?
So that's what I'm thinking so. He's just, yeah, because he texted me, I don't know, about 5-10 minutes ago saying that, let me see, let me find it real quick. Here it is. Wi-Fi is out, power is on and off. He doesn't say why, but I'm assuming it's probably because of weather. Everyone, if you wouldn't mind, repost the space. That would be awesome. Come to your space on my page. Awesome. Cool. So here we are. Everyone repost the space. This is Say Something. I don't have the cool songs. I don't have the cool intros. My identical cousin, Mike Mack, is having technical difficulties. So we just decided to go to my page and get it going until we can figure out what's going on with him. Today's space is on conspiracy and dollar store stupid, which I think is really, really funny. We'll get into more of that in a minute. If you want to request a mic, blue collar Brett, like why aren't you requesting? American Mission, go ahead and request. And please share it out, guys. I know I haven't done a space in a minute, but you know.
Sabby, I was going to ask, do you host spaces often, just in general?
Yes, well, host them myself. I have a Monday night space that I do with David Pollock, and then I host with Mike on Wednesdays. I used to do a lot more space hosting. Let's see, before the campaign, during, and directly after. Since then, I've gotten extremely busy. So, oh, there's our cousin. And so it is, I have an idea of one that I really, really want to do actually. And it's to help out a buddy of mine that worked for the campaign who's over in Turkey and Japan right now. And he needed some, what does America First mean to Americans? And he is presenting to like the Japanese consulate, and also wanted to talk about tariffs and trade, and get recorded reactions and real-time American feelings and quotes. So I will be doing that one within the next week or so. I'm excited about Mike Mack. Wait, did he disappeared?
He dropped down again. He's still having some connection issues, it looks like.
Yeah. Shoot.
Hey, Savvy.
Hey, Freddie Spaghetti.
Hey, Savvy Watermelon Head.
Hmm.
So I heard your phone. I heard the text message tone going off. Was there strobe lights going along with that?
You best believe it.
I swear.
I can't wait to see you, because it will. I'm going to even step it up a notch.
Did you really get the mirror screen that's like reflective?
I sure did.
You're so ridiculous.
So if people don't know what we're talking about, just until my cousin gets back in here, we were in Nashville for the inauguration. And so I've always done this. I keep my phone face down. And I started really making sure I did this like during the campaign, when you'd get calls or texts or whatever from certain people. And I always keep it on vibrate for the most part, because I don't know, the ringer gets on my nerves. But I also, in case I'm anywhere, it has the little strobe light. Well, one morning, and we were I can say this, right? I'm sure I'll be judged. It's fine. We were hung over as all get out. It was me, Brady Spaghetti, um, his wife, my best friend Heather, and then my little sister Victoria. And we, oh my gosh. So Heather and I had Brett pull a mattress out of the guest room, so we could lay on the floor. And then Victoria, who's tiny, she was on this long couch, and 6 foot. I don't even know what you are, Brett, but we had Brady Spaghetti, and he was folded up like an accordion on the love seat. And again, we've got all the curtains pulled. It is dark. We are suffering. Okay. It's bad. You know, he had attempted to make mozzie sticks. They were awful. You know, all the things. Anywho, my phone, when it would vibrate with a text or a call, the strobe light would go on, and it was annoying him so bad. But what he didn't understand was that both myself and his wife, my best friend, picked up on how irritated he was getting. So Heather was texting me back to back to back to back to back, just periods. So it would continue to go off and drive Brett absolutely freaking crazy. And that's why he asked about the strobe light all the time. And that's why I give him, because he yelled at me, you guys. He yelled at me. But I see, so that's a little bit of the backstory. It doesn't sound funny. It really was funny. Mike Mack, I see he is in a listener spot. He has not requested. Everyone, please share out the space. That would be great. And I don't know where he wants to go with here. Normally he will lead off, and I'm just like the relief pitcher.
Sabby, I did also receive a message saying that his Wi-Fi is having issues. Did he give you any indication in terms of the conspiracy theories, which ones he wants to go with, or one in particular, or is it a broad category for any conspiracy theory?
Yes. So one in particular, I hope I'm just going to go and put it out there, about Candace Owens Tucker, that situation, you know, that I don't know if people have recently seen her quick little video. And I too have gotten some calls about this, and I'm like, wait, what? It sounds insane. So do you know what I'm talking about, Hitch Slap or Brett?
I have seen briefly the video. I've seen about 10 seconds of it, if I'm being honest, and I kept scrolling because it seemed, what I heard, it seemed very, very wild. But yeah, I do know broadly what it is. So I'm not sure if I see Mike on stage.
Yeah. When did she make this video? Because I've been following her recent episodes with everything. Was this a new video drop?
I saw it yesterday. And so now I'm going to go into my history and see if I can find it, because it's really something. Mike Mack, are you with us? Or
testes? Testes?
Hi.
Am I in?
Mike, I'm not going to lie. I was kind of enjoying Say Something with the Real Political Savvy and Hitch Slap, but I mean, it's cool if you join too.
Well, I'll probably be, as they say, in and out, in the technical term, you know, in the world that we come from in XSpaces and podcasting, it's called, I'll be in and out. And, I freaking feel like it's taken me so long. I just sent you a picture I've been requesting forever. It's like nobody wants to talk to me.
I do. And I'm actually trying to send you.
Brett comes in here and just rags me the first minute. Come in.
So is it because of weather?
No, I got an email from our internet company out here. I live in a different community, and they said that everything's down, and so we're having intermittent outages in this little area here. So no Wi-Fi.
All right. So here do you want me to play this Candace thing?
Sure. Yeah. You can. So let me just. Well, yeah, you
Set
go
it
ahead and
up.
play
I'm
that.
gonna mute now. You take over.
No. This is yours because I could be talking for 20 minutes, and it'll be like me and Hitch talking in the back channels. Like all of a sudden I'm talking and Hitch is like had been hung up for like 10 minutes, and so no, I can't do that. It's embarrassing. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about not only the conspiracies that are out there, the people on X, the people, Candace and Ian and Fuentes and all of them. Some of them are for different angles, and I just think that it's should we give them a pass for just asking questions and saying we're just asking questions, that's all we're doing right now, or should we hold their feet to the fire and say maybe it's not the Jews? I don't know. maybe that's oh my God, now I realize what stopped me from getting in here. Now I know who's messing with my Wi-Fi. Damn it, the answer's been right here in front of us the whole time. So that's kind of the setup. That's the 5-cent version. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that was great. That was
Okay.
great. Keep talking though, because I'm still looking for the exact one because she goes off.
Yeah. So it's interesting that a lot of the things, the promises are usually behind paywalls. But there is a key. There's a skill, and Hitch knows this as well as anybody about connecting patterns. But there's a skill to be able to connect patterns, right? Some people can see it, some people can't. But there's also a skill to be able to connect a pattern that is just there, and it's connected, but it doesn't mean anything. Like it's just a connection, you know. So my best friend's first cousin's next door neighbor's aunt doesn't make me what she is. It just means that my best friend's first cousin's next door neighbor's aunt is just a connection to me. And so that's what I'm finding fascinating. And now look, I know they're getting lots of clicks. I know they're getting lots of attention. But I was in a space yesterday, and I am not lying to you. This is word for word that and I'm not even gonna dox the space at all. But basically, it came down to that Erica Kirk's mother has ties to child trafficking in Romania. Her father, who works for Raytheon, has some back channel thing going on with Israel. Erica and Charlie were groomed to be together. And that Erica does real estate for a company backed by Epstein, and Epstein is still alive right now working in Israel. Heard for space in the space that I heard. So
All right, you guys,
That
let's
is
take a pause.
wild.
real? Is it real? Is it a conspiracy?
Is he
Or is
rugging
this
for
dollar
anyone
store?
else, or is that just me?
Sorry.
Mike, if you can hear, you were rugging for like half of it.
Damn it. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
So you missed the whole child Erica's
No,
mom's
so
child trafficking.
I heard what I heard was all the way up to Erica Kirk's father that works for Raytheon, and they were groomed basically for Charlie and her to be together, and that's kind of as far as I heard.
So let me spit this out real quick. So Erica works for a real estate company that has direct ties to Epstein and to Epstein's companies, and Epstein is alive right now in Israel. That is, I mean, every single thing I said was absolute quoted. Could you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, gotcha.
I heard you,
Yeah.
and that's pretty fucking wild.
So
I mean,
my that's my
go ahead.
question though is do we, like, some conspiracies are right, we've seen it come true, do we follow these conspiracies, or do we just recognize that some of them are dollar store stupid?
Yeah.
So that's what I kind of wanted to talk about tonight. All right, Savvy.
And I
By
have
the way, hey.
hi. Oh, you're saying hi to Hitch. Yeah, Hitch has been clutch in this space so far, by the way.
Let's
Wait,
go now.
well-
I can't see. Sorry, Joe. I can only see Brett and Mike, so I can't see anyone else. So I don't know who that was.
It was the host. It's
Sometimes they call him Clutch Lap. So a lot of people don't.
Let's
That's the goal.
go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Brett, you don't have to raise your hand. Go ahead real quick.
Okay, no, I just wanted to say to what Mike was what he just told all of us was I'm totally into conspiracies to a point, but I think also the people that are following the breadcrumbs, the little trail down the conspiracy, I think they try to connect too many dots and go way far off the edge, which is what loses people because there could be a lot of truth to the beginning of the conspiracies. I don't know if I'd go as far as Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk were groomed to be together, but I'm also not going to put away the whole it's possible that Israel was involved in all of this. Maybe not to the extent of what people are saying, but I think there's still a possibility of like Candace Owens when she started coming out with her stuff. She is an extremely intelligent woman, and I've been following her for years. And this is the first time she's been saying stuff like this. So for someone that intelligent to get wrapped up in it, there has to be some truth or something that she found that could be factual and could end up becoming true. But as going down that rabbit hole of connecting these dots that may not even be there can be a little too much, and then it basically dilutes the entire conspiracy itself, and then everyone just ignores it.
If I can jump in as well, the problem with conspiracy theories is occasionally they're true. There was the one, I forget the name of the. Now, but I'm not saying anything about the current goings on. I'm just saying as a broad principle. A lot of conspiracy theories you hear just over time. I would say most of them are not true. But for example, there was I forget the name of it, but the US government was going to crash an airliner and put fake bodies in there as an excuse to attack Cuba. I think it was during the Cuban missile crisis. And there's been a couple of others like that. You only find out about them later. Now, for you, because they got declassified. If I told someone that at the time, they would say, no way the American government's going to crash an airliner and then put fake bodies in and use that as an excuse. So sometimes, Alex Jones is probably wrong. No, Alex Jones, don't get angry at me. But, he's probably wrong about 90% of the stuff he says, but about 10% of it, which sounds wild, actually has a lot of truth to it. So the question to me, at least, is always, what is there evidence for? Because, and I know it's very cliche, correlation is not causation, etc. There's a correlation between, sunlight and mowing your lawn, but mowing your lawn doesn't create sunlight. People mow the lawn when the sun is out, as opposed to, the correlation between clouds and rain. That is a correlation. Clouds create rain. Correlation, causation, what is there evidence for? And how strong is the evidence? You can find patterns in almost anything. So I'm not saying anything about the current goings on because I don't know. I haven't looked into any of it. I don't know that much about it. It's not my strong area. But just as a general rule, conspiracy theories, in my experience and opinion, mostly they're wrong, mostly they're nonsense. But the problem is occasionally they're true, and the government or strange things, strange happenings will be going on. So you should never dismiss them, in my opinion. It doesn't matter how wild or how silly or how strange, but you should be very, very careful before buying into them. You want to have some very, very strong evidence.
Now, Hitch, what about the gut feeling? Can that also be something that can be used to? I mean, because let's be real, all conspiracies you don't find out till later on, but you have that gut feeling and everything is there. How long do you wait until you really just kind of give up on it before the government then says something 10 or 15 years later? So, I mean, do we always have to have the evidence, or can we kind of just chalk it up as, yeah, this definitely happened, even though it's considered a conspiracy?
I would say, and again, people should use their own judgment, do their own investigation. But I guess it depends on the severity of the implication of what you're kind of saying, of what you're committing to. But generally speaking, I would say it's on a case-by-case basis. At the kind of individual level, for example, instincts are normally very good. For example, there's the gut instinct. There's a security expert. He's got a book. The title escapes me at the moment, and he says something like 70% of women who get physically assaulted, they have some kind of warning or some kind of strange feeling, some gut feeling, some instinct that something wasn't right. And a lot of the time they ignore it because of reasons of politeness or whatever. You know, they shouldn't have got on the elevator, but I'm not blaming the victims. I'm just saying a lot of times, according to this book, the victims will get a gut feeling. So gut feelings in your everyday life are normally pretty good, but there's not, you know, in your everyday life, there aren't actors who are deliberately moving chess pieces in order to hide, you know, this, that, and the other. So individually, gut feelings are probably very good. When it comes to, I don't know, broader things where there could have been, another one is the sugar industry, right? As far as I'm aware, people can fact check me. The sugar industry paid a group of scientists to say that fat, I forget, you know, there's different types of fat, saturated, unsaturated, etc. But you know, fats in general, the fat found in butter, etc., is very bad for you. You should definitely avoid it. And everyone believed it for so long, and it was even in the food pyramid, all this stuff. It turns out, no. The sugar industry had paid a whole lot of scientists to say sugar is good for you and fat is bad for you. Now, if I told you that at the time they released the food pyramid and all that, you would have gone, that's bullshit, as if the sugar industry went behind the scenes and secretly paid all these scientists with these covert payments. But, you know, it was true. So, yes, sometimes they are true. I would say case by case basis. And, you know, big claims require big evidence. Little claims require little evidence. So I think it is somewhat proportional. And claims that can be, I'm going to quote Christopher Hitchens, my namesake, that which can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. How strong is the evidence that you are presenting? And I'll end on this and say the moon landing is one. Now, very intelligent people are not sure that we went to the moon. So this is kind of, I mean, the flat earth one, in my opinion, is ridiculous. We can prove by physics the earth is not flat. A 10-year-old can do it with shadows, etc. Time zones, for example. Anyway, but going to the moon, this is one that some of the footage was, according to what I've read, some of the footage was, definitely set up for training purposes. And then there are claims that some of the training footage was used as real footage at some point. So some very intelligent people are not sure we went to the moon. So is it a conspiracy or is it not? I mean, there is evidence in both directions. It's just a matter of using judgment and discernment. And you want to just repeat, if, big claims require strong evidence. So if the claim is big, the evidence should also be very, very strong. But I'd say case by case basis, that's the way I try to. I don't rule out anything, literally nothing. Anything can be possible, even the strangest, weirdest, over the top thing. But the more strange, the more weird, the more over the top, the bigger the evidence needs to be. You can't, again, to quote mowing the lawn does not create sunlight, but there's a correlation between sunlight and mowing the lawn. It's called confounding in statistics. The sun is what causes people to mow the lawn. Correlation is not causation.
I think that's a great point, Hitch.
I'm 117 IQ, so people, yeah.
Oh yeah, he came in hard and fast. Do you want me to play this Candace Owens thing or no?
Yeah, play it.
Okay, here we go. Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
Why they killed
No!
Hey, Savvy, do you think maybe you could put your phone on
we know who's
silent?
behind it.
We keep hearing that text tone, and I know that the strobe lights are going off.
Brett. I just had it, and now I don't. Okay.
At least we know who's behind this, though, don't we?
7.
Yes. Yes. I'm very upset. Now I gotta find it because it's not necessarily the easiest thing. Hold on. Oh, okay. Okay.
Sabby, if you send it to me, I can play it. If you send it to me, I can play it for you for something that can be easily played.
Oh yeah, this is not even the short. Let me find the short because I found the whole thing and it's nasty. And if anyone else has this clip that you know what I'm talking about, please send it to Hitchclap. It's just a short, but I'm not in my right mind today. I am all over the place and I apologize, but I will find it. Go ahead, Honey Badger. And Mike, take over as host. I'm going to be quiet.
Thanks, Abby. Can you guys hear me? I was losing connection for a second. Um, there's another thing I would say, and that was a brilliant example with the sugar industry pitch that, but the reverse of the conspiracy theory, rather, and that is, the official narrative to the entire thing just doesn't make sense to me. It just seems like there's holes. From start to finish, there are some bizarre points to be made, about everything from start to now. Do I pretend to have a better idea of what's actually happened? No. But I question the official narrative. However, I'm not going to lose sleep trying to figure out what it is that actually happened, because that is not something that I have control over, even if I could figure it out. And I know that sounds incredibly black-pilled, but at the same time, if I were to try to fill in those holes that I don't understand myself, I would be just up in imagination land. And I know that, and so I think part of it is, as an intelligent person, it's okay to question things that we're told. And, because we know that there have been things that we've been told for a very long time that simply weren't true, like the example that Hitch gave. And it took a long time for people to reverse their thinking about fat being bad for you wholesale. But am I myself going to prove any differently? Am I going to be able to come up with a better answer than we've been given? No. So in a certain sense, I think that you'll save your sanity, not trying to fill in the gaps that clearly we don't have all the information anyway. Even the advice, or like even the evidence is not going to be given to us because it's a criminal case, right? So I guess my question, and if I would love to hear anybody's answers. What do you think is it that motivates people to try to fill in all of those gaps themselves and come up with these types of conspiracy theories, such as what Mick just laid out?
Clicks, views, and monetization. And to be the one that's, breaking news, this, that, and the other thing. That's exactly what it is. The one that's,
Maybe a little bit of control too. Maybe the need to control. Do you think? Do you know what I mean? Like, how can you put it?
Can you ask that again? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe there's a little bit of a control thing there too. Like I must know, or I'm going to figure this out myself. It's hard to explain. Like I can accept the things that I can't change. You don't think?
We can't hear you, Mike.
Okay. I don't think it's I don't think it's say on this before go down rabbit hole, back down what it is, and all of a sudden one conspiracy means conspiracies that completely caught it all whole conspiracies and just never find a way back out. The bad thing is the message is get hit. There could be some truth, like there.
Sure wish.
You there, Mike?
Worse. Okay. Stupid. Okay, it's stupid.
Is it just me, or is anyone else not hearing him?
No, it's
I
not
can't
just
hear
you.
anything Mike is saying at all.
Mike
I'm
sounds
sorry,
like
I
Wally.
didn't hear a
I
word.
definitely heard him say what Brett said was true, which I'm really stoked about. That's all I really need to hear. So you can.
I heard him
continue
say
to
the word stupid.
No, Honey Badger. Taken out of context, I heard he said Brett is awesome. Brett is always right. And then I think he said honey badger is stupid, but I could be wrong on that. It was hard to hear.
So literally nobody can hear me. Then I'm just
Now
like
we
a,
can
I feel
hear
like a
you.
freaking
Now
idiot.
we can hear you. It's always when you're talking about the good stuff is when you rug out.
Because we all know who's behind it. We know who's cutting me out. That's the beautiful part of it, is we already know who's behind it, and all we gotta do is ask. All we gotta do is ask Candace and her cronies, and we'll know. I like this. I did. I if everybody can still
I'm
hear
so
me.
sorry.
But I'll say,
You sound like Tron.
Yeah, but it's really not just you, because when I was trying to get into the space, it took me 15 minutes just to open up the space. I had to reload it probably 25 times.
so it's not me. We know who it is. We know who's causing this. We know what country
Why
it
do
is.
you keep saying that?
Those of you who think
Now, real, I've got the clip ready, but she doesn't really say much about her.
No,
as
there's
far
a
as I can see.
whole series, and I just sent you another one.
to those of you who think
I mean, she put this out like she is definitely. Chad Caton is here. Yeah. So I'm sending you a whole series
there's a lot
of shorts, so you can pick and choose, Hitch, because they get a lot more in depth.
No worries. So I've got the second one. Do you want me to wait for more, or do you want me to play them as you send them? How do you want me to do it?
Mike, you know what? I don't know if there is really a particular order. It's just something to sort of kind of get this space going. I see that Sean has his hand up too. Can we go to Sean? Mike says yes.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Sean, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, I'll go. I just wanted to say that I was laughing so hard because Mike was sounding like Wall-E. But anyway, so yeah, I was listening to a space too that also they were, crowning Candace as the queen of all information. And it's like they take, and I'm going to do this to where Mike can understand it. It's like they take a dot to dot book, right? And yeah, these numbers correspond. And so yes, so 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 sh in this one that I heard, she had supposedly interviewed the guy that took a video of him, the shooter, and said that he was wearing a mask. It looked like he was in tactical gear, and so those are dots that they connect, right? And then all of a sudden they jump to another dot to dot book, put it together, and now it's the government or a professional shooter because he was wearing tactical gear, right? So I don't know. It's really, it's just, I don't know where where they're getting these dot to dot books that they're using, but it definitely, they don't match up. And granted, you could say the same thing with the quote unquote right, where they could see it as, okay, they see the guy in all black, he's wearing a mask. Now all of a sudden they go to the Antifa dot to dot book, right? So it's the same thing. And I don't want to say it's this both sidesism, but you do have these people in these spaces that are doing this. How about we just wait? And to what Honey Badger was saying is, why is this happening? Well, part of it is exactly what you were saying, is that, or what Savvy responded with was, clicks and all this kind of stuff. But it's also, what have we gone through the last 8 years with the COVID stuff? We don't feel like we're getting the information that we believe or perceive that we're entitled to as a whole nation of people, and we want to be the judge of that. But that's really not how we're set up to be this. We're supposed to receive the information as it comes out, but with our past history of our government hiding things and protecting itself from us, then this is what is the end product, or how these quote unquote conspiracies theories continue and are promoted.
Thank
But
you,
if
Sean.
you
Go
can,
ahead.
I don't, again,
What'd you say, Mike? We're having some issues, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. Mike, what did you say?
yeah, we might boom this thing sooner than not. Yeah, no, I agree with a lot of Sean said, but think about it. If we have very good reason to doubt our government, right? But when COVID happened, we all knew, even if you masked up, you still know they were lying to you, right? We all knew they were lying to us with COVID. You know, with like the Charlie Kirk thing and some of the other things that come up or whatever it is, whatever files, whatever here or there, whatever it is, if they're not lying to us, then you don't have a story and you don't have a platform. If you don't have a platform, you ain't got followers. And if you don't have followers, you ain't got no money. You see what I'm saying? So the boogeyman is always the best problem because you can never, if you know you're never going to get the information from the boogeyman, then blame it on the boogeyman. And now you've got a perpetual income coming in. That's a fact. That's not even disputable. Like that just makes common sense, right? So if Charlie Kirk gets shot, it better not be a lone gunman. It better not be just some trans dude who was pissed off. It better be an entire government sanctioned activity from multiple levels. And when people bend down and reach for something and you can't see it on the grainy camera, they must be putting something secret in their pocket and running off. Like it's got to be that, right? Otherwise, you don't have a show. So
Go ahead, Freemason.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, I don't know if you guys probably seen the footage where he runs off to the corner of the roof and then drops down. If you watch that footage closely, there's a pedestrian that crosses by a tree and then just fucking disappears into thin air. Which brings up, you know, they're already using like blue beam and different types of designing technology on a laptop to fester up the footage. And then the other thing is, you know, we got all these experts and professionals, and it's quite talked about all over the Special Forces YouTube community about ballistics and whatnot. In fact, Mike and I talked today about the capability of the 3006. I mean, that shot, I could train a fucking deaf mute how to make that hit in about a week and a half easily. You know, the issue then now they're saying that there's footage of a shot behind the neck. And then now the issue with that is then that means that this neck wound was the exit wound. And where's the ballistics? Oh, by the way, we poured concrete the next day over this exact spot that he sat on is out there. And then, you know, Candace, forget about it, man. Holy moly. There's a video out there you guys should all see. I'll try to find it, where she's like the most interesting man in the world with connected dots theory.
I've seen that video and it is freaking funny as hell. And it is absolutely spot on. By the way, and I'll just say this, and Chad will come. I'm going to take my conspiracies from a Freemason, from a Chad Caton. I'm going to take from a Hitch Slap. I'm going to take my conspiracies from those people because of the stuff that they say when they're not giving me conspiracy theories. Right. So if they're talking legitimate information that makes sense for 90% of the time, and they want to give me some conspiracy theories or some ideas that they have, I'm going to listen to them. The people who give me conspiracies 95% of the time, man, from now you're done. They're done. Those people are done with me.
I agree. Like I had a long, and Chad will go to you next, but when I had a very in-depth conversation about this topic with Chad, and like I trust Chad. I think people know this. I trust Chad with my life. So whatever he says to me, I'm gonna look further into. Go ahead, Chad.
The interesting part is the conspiracy is not always what you don't think you know. The idea of understanding a real conspiracy, or if there was something really a fall, you need to be able to be trained in the concept of looking deeper into, i.e. psychological warfare, i.e. what you don't know that a particular government entity or a bad actor has the ability to do. For instance, this kid shot Charlie Kirk. The conspiracy and where we could find ourselves dealing with somebody that made him happen is something that all governments have tried to do for a very long time, and that is the concept of a Manchurian candidate. The idea of a Manchurian candidate, meaning that they can step up and be a weapon of something that is so far away from the person that is making them do it or getting them to do it, is hidden under the veil of that distance, right? So there's two things that we have found in both Butler and this, and nobody seems to be talking about it, and that is Discord. It is very easy to go into a room filled with a bunch of gamer AV club kids that hate the world and can't stand their life and their dad sucks and everything else, and they are able to manipulate them, or with the word that we have all used and learned over the last 5 years based off of the pedophilia issue, is grooming. Grooming is just not for pedophilia. Grooming is for all kinds of things. The people that are good at this and that understand psychological warfare and understand how to manipulate someone's thought process are everywhere on social media. Discord is the easiest one because you find yourself in particular rooms where you have a target-rich environment of these type of young people. So it's easy to infiltrate that and to put the thought process into them. The shot that was made was not overtly hard. He had a scope, he had this, he had that. He was based on the motivation. The Butler kid, same type of thing. We know he was on Discord. All of these things are not the conspiracy theory of a guy shooting from a palm gun, which obviously wasn't, or the guy with the cell phone under his armpit, or Charlie Kirk's very good friend in the white hat that itched his nose and everybody thought he was doing hand signs. You know, all of that could be true, sure. But when you look at the conspiracy concept of what makes sense in what we see through a lot of these young shooters, seems to be the one thing that is congruent is that they are very social media or gaming, Xbox Live, whatever. This is where grooming happens. This is where those people are radicalized, and this is where they are able to flip the switch in the cerebellum of any one of these kids on the concept of them doing something terrible. So,
To add to that, Chad, I mean, this is what we've seen with these accelerationist groups for the lone shooters, you know, for the grooming of kids. And this is a worldwide problem. And it all happens from, it all starts in like the gaming community and Roblox. And then they're like, hey, why don't you come to my discourse channel, this, that, and the other thing. And then that's when they really start to sort of feed them with all of this absolute garbage and start to groom them. And then you can go in any certain direction that they want, but they have this mental power over these young kids. And then the kids will basically do whatever they ask because then they threaten to go after their parents or their families. And that's what a young kid doesn't want. That they don't want to embarrass themselves. They don't want to embarrass their family.
well, you're talking about something different though.
But it's all connected. I mean,
it's not though, because they're not going to they're going to take out their parents.
No. I'm saying the method is the same.
Okay.
That's it.
The people that are being groomed in this particular situation, if it is that, they're so far and away, it's almost like it's this little world that they make for themselves, and that little world dictates what they're supposed to do or brings them to the ideology that they need to act out, and whatever that may be is going to be beneficial to the people grooming, not just whether it means they shoot them in the ear or they allow them to figure it out themselves. And then you can find yourself in cells. We know that the cells in the terrorist networks are no longer talking to each other. The litany of cells that we have in this country right now based on the border, in fact, are not talking to each other anymore. They learned that lesson in 9/11. There is one connecting overall way that they get their information, that i.e. you had the patsies say, I shot him, I shot him, I shot him. Were they also in on it based off of their connection to whoever was doing this operation? Now, I'm getting real deep in here and just giving you perspective. I'm not saying this is what happened, but this is how these big dogs make it happen. And this is how the big governments and the big intel world, this is what they do. And at the end of the day, LSD is in our streets, or people took it because of the Manchurian candidate. It was originally LSD that was utilized in order to have the ultimate weapon. somebody that is basically asleep and can be told what to do without their real knowledge of why they're doing it. That is a Manchurian candidate that can never come back on another country, another government, another people, another organization. And it's something that military types have been looking for forever, which is also why AI and robotics are super, super dangerous, because all they got to do is put a little 0 1 in there in the right place. And that robot now just became the Manchurian candidate that is considered the ultimate weapon. This is the world that is real. This is the intelligence world that is trying. These are the things they're trying to grasp a hold of. And maybe, just maybe, through the idea of grooming, where we have seen connected to governments all over the place for years and years and years of pedophilia, this is where they have honed their ways of doing things to make people feel so confident in that grooming that they can actually go out and commit pedophilia. This is something that's been going on for a very, very long time in the intelligence world. That's your conspiracy. Buy more real estate, Gary Cardone. I don't know. Did I kill the room? What?
I can't. I can't. I'm hoping that somebody else speaks, because I can't tell, because I'm in and out, and I might be talking right now and nobody can hear me. So yeah, they're trying to silence us. It's got to be what it is. No, I agree, Chad. I agree with everything that you said, and that's kind of, my point is that some of it is some of the conspiracy, some of the links between the dots is what makes me frustrated a little bit, is that you start listening to some things and then they go off the plantation, they go off the reservation, or whatever that saying is. It's like you see a grainy picture, right, of a guy who reaches down into something, and it looks like he puts his hand by his hip, which means he had to have put something secret in his pocket and he ran off. That's the key. What he put in his pocket, we all saw it. You see it, don't you? Like that happens in so many test cases where other people in the room literally do what you do, just simply by other people doing it. You can make people shift what they see and what they think they see so easily. It's almost mind-boggling how easy it is to do against other people. And so all you got to do, if you notice in the videos that they show us, right, they always tell us exactly what happens in the video. Now watch this again, look right here. And then what do? We watch it again and we look right there, and they tell us exactly what we're supposed to see. And you're like, I think I do see it. I think it's the easiest form of manipulation that anybody can do. It works so well. And notice, because if they just played the video, yes, because if they just played the video, you'd never see it. Only their eyes can see it. You see, they saw it when no one else saw it. They're the special ones. They're the unique ones. They're the ones with a gift of perception that we don't have, and we must rely on them in order to see the truth. That's what's coming. That's what's happening. We must turn to them. So make sure you follow and subscribe to the channel.
But Mike, that's something that I always say to people too, is it amazes me how many people want to be right in their conspiracy, for the simple fact that if the government wants you to know, you're going to know. If the government doesn't want you to know, you're not going to know. And if you happen by chance to know and you're not supposed to know, you will be eliminated.
Yeah, I know. Like it's just so funny that we like someone says, like, there's a Trump, and you're people know. Well, when you know there's but half the freaking people don't believe it either. They don't have to believe it, because even if I showed you video, we had some kind of telescope that could actually show you exactly on the moon where that flag is, and you saw it, I guess I believe AI. So all you got to do right now is look at yourself and see where you.
Freemason, go ahead. Nobody's talking.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah, it's so funny. As I sat there and listened to Chad talk, a couple weeks ago, I caught a podcast with John Kiriakou. He's an ex-CIA officer, case officer, and he described exactly that, about going into a hotbed room with targets that they were going to compromise and either make a mark or make an asset. And it's mind blowing, and especially someone who is acute and pays attention to productivity in a room. You could listen to conversations across the bar and then walk yourself over there and introduce yourself and kind of drop a tidbit of what you heard. And now that person has no clue that you overheard them. And now you've broken the ice. And I mean, I've used this in real estate tactics before, so I don't want to pat myself on the back too much, but it definitely works. The grooming part is 100% spot on. There's no question about it. And then the other part is, it's funny you bring up, Mike, about the video, and look, it's right here, it's right there. I don't remember if we talked about this on the podcast, but I became a Mason because of William Cooper in the book Behold the Pale Horse. And one of his go-tos was the Zapruder film, and that the limousine driver turned around and shot Kennedy. And when I first saw it, I was convinced that, of course, that's what happened. But then all of a sudden, better DPI and different Photoshops came out, and the Zapruder film now, if you look at it, you'll notice that there's a Secret Service agent in between everybody. Connolly shot already, and the driver turns his head, and there's a gap between his head and the Secret Service's head that looks like an L. And you literally will convince yourself that it's a weapon. But the fact is, it wasn't. And when I met William Cooper and got my book signed, we discussed that in depth. And I was able to show him this new footage that I had. He didn't quite concede to it, but he was willing to listen to my new perspective. And, that's one of the things with discernment. When you're faced with new intel, new situations, new situational awareness, you got to be able to take, is it worth it? Can it be changed? Is it different? Is it new? And, any cop or investigator will tell you that eyewitness testimony, if you have 100 people to see the same thing, it's all over the place.